Good morning, my boy. Today, I am going to continue to introduce historical story of Medici family. In the last chapter, I have introduced Cosimo de' Medici and his life. After Cosimo passed away, his son, Piero de' Medici became head of Medici family. However, after Cosimo passed away and Piero come up to the stage, some people show their rebellion against Medici family. It is common case in our history, or even our daily life. When strong boss was there, people behave well as obedient dog. But, once this boss disappeared, they show their real face and against successor. And even some of family member of Medici, against genuine Medici family as well. In fact, comparatively, Piero was inferior rather than Cosimo, and anti-Medici alliance attacked his this weak point. Indeed, they were in imminent risk of battle, and anti-Medici tried to hit Piero on his way back from his holiday villa. But, that moment, his son, Lorenzo, asked him to change their route and by his idea, have a narrow escape. And it was lucky for them that, they found mine of aluminium potassium sulfate nearby Florence, in their territory. Lorenzo negotiated with Roman Pope to monopoly mine business in there by Medici family. Although Piero was not really capable to handle Medici family and its business, Piero peacefully handed over his status, all assets to his son, Lorenzo de' Medici. This Lorenzo de' Medici is famous star of Medici family, and people called his as Lorenzo il Magnifico, Great Lorenzo. Lorenzo was not really beautiful face, indeed, ugly face. But, once people start to have a conversation with him, no one can be stopped being attracted by him. He was open, frank, friendly, but indeed, cool and realistic, pragmatic, and smart at all. When he succussed the position of Piero, Lorenzo was just 20 years old. So, still he was young and free to go around to play in bar, nightclub, as he likes. But, big event come from front side. Roman Pope changed from Pope Paul II to Pope Sixtus IV. Sixtus IV was not really cooperative with Medici family, or even I can say, enemy of Medici. He had ambitious to obtain area, nearby Florence, and asked Medici to help him. As a matter of course, Medici family rejected, and Poppy asked Pazzi family to help instead. As return, he removed all right of Medici in Vatican and gave it to Pazzi family. Of course, Lorenzo got angry and confiscated all Pazzi properties in Florence. Then, he picked up these properties by Medici family. Escalate endless conflict. And eventually, Pazzi decided to assassinate Lorenzo and his younger brother Giuliano de' Medici. This is Pazzi conspiracy, famous topic of Medici family history. This kind of assassination is common in history book, but the reason why this Pazzi conspiracy is so famous among them. 1. Of course, it happened on Medici family, famous history star. And second, the man behind wiring was Pope Sixtus IV. Pope Sixtus IV was typical pope in Renaissance period, and it is famous story that Sistine Chapel in Vatican was named from him. These days, Vatican was very polluted and it produced an action of reformation in Europe. And last point is, it had been seen by Leonardo da Vinci, and Da Vinci draw this scene in his codex. Actually, Sandro Botticelli also sketched this hanged man, but, unfortunately, it has been missed in the history. Assassination itself was so childish and premature. Anyway, Lorenzo got narrow escape and his anger on Pazzi family was extremely strong. Lorenzo eliminated all Pazzi family member, except his brother-in-law. However, Pope Sixtus IV did not think he was wrong, and he planned revenge for Medici family. He announced excommunication on all over the Florence as punishment and also asked King Ferdinand I of Naples to attack Florence by his force. Actually, Naples and Florence had been at the war for several years, and King Ferdinand I of Naples was notorious by his terrible characteristic, such as, after he killed his enemy, put clothes on dead body and show to his guest. Anyway, Florence was in imminent danger, and Lorenzo de Medici made one big decision. He said he will visit Naples to see King Ferdinand alone for negotiation. People of Florence cried and asked him not to go. But Lorenzo said, "It is my obligation to save our Florence. I must go." Actually, in behind, he already communicated with this King Ferdinand and got consensus how to settle down the case with him. After arrived at Naples, he enjoyed party, hunting, happy days in there. But when he came back to Florence, people welcome him as a great hero of Florence. He did not miss to pick up this opportunity. He enhanced power of Medici in Florence, and it became harder than before. And fortunately, his enemy, Pope Sixtus IV, passed away in 1484. Then, Pope Innocent VIII had been appointed as a new pope. Pope Innocent VIII was freestyle pope and he had 7 numbers of sons. Actually, that era, Pope never admits he had son or daughter, even he has, but Pope Innocent VIII did not care such tradition and openly confessed he has sons. Lorenzo did not overlook this point and asked his daughter to get married with son of Pope Innocent VIII. So, step on to the another stage to enhance relationship with Vatican. After 3 years of their marriage, successfully Lorenzo pushed his second son, Giovanni di Lorenzo de Medici, to be cardinal. It was great step up for Medici family, and Medici became one of noble family in Europe. Maybe this moment was climax of his life. However, slowly but surely, darkness covers his kingdom. I am going to develop this story in coming up program.
As the journey continues.